are logical contradictions, are they absolutely fallacious?
Yes, because I presuppose the universe exists and has the nature that it has, including a property called the laws of logic. Eric, do you believe that the law of identity absolutely holds, given that you believe Jesus was 100% man and 100% God?
Could you be wrong about everything you claim to know? Is that a possibility?
No, I know that I am not omniscient, and I know that I am not your God.
Okay, so you would agree with me if I were to make a claim and then say, but I could be wrong, then I don't really know what I'm that claim. If I said the speed limit outside the studio right here is 35 miles an hour, but I could be wrong, then logically it would follow I don't really know, do I? I don't actually have that absolute knowledge, correct?
No, that's not correct, Eric. I don't believe you need to have absolute knowledge to say that you know something. Knowledge is a subset of belief that exists in degrees of probability. As the probability goes to a high level, you can then say that you know something. Do I know absolutely that when I drop this pencil, it's going to fall? No. But I don't need that degree of certainty. All I can say is I have a very high degree of confidence that when I drop this pencil, it's going to fall. Eric, do you know absolutely that when I drop this pencil, it will fall? Don't you believe in a God that can suspend the laws of nature? So when I let go of this pencil, couldn't your God make the pencil go up? So Eric, how can you say you know anything when your God can change the uniformity of nature?
Knowledge is justified true belief. That's what knowledge is.
Eric, I agree that a lot of people use Plato's definition of knowledge as justified true belief. But let's be honest with one another. A lot of people say they have knowledge about something with very poor justification. I've met Christians who say that they've become a Christian by going to a Christian rock concert and feeling warm and fuzzy feelings, and that they know that God is real based on that. Is that a legitimate justification? I define knowledge as a subset of belief existing in degrees of probability. What determines the probability of a belief being true is the reliability of the method and the evidence available for it.
Is it possible that a fact could be proven wrong or could not be true? Is that a possibility?
Yes, it is a possibility for a fact to be proven wrong. The fact is, today is a Thursday when I'm recording this. Tomorrow, that fact will be wrong. Eric, at one time it was a fact that your God approved of the stoning of homosexuals. Now that fact has changed.
Does absolute truth exist? Yes or no?
Yes, it is absolutely true that I'm not omniscient. But what is more interesting to me is how we arrive at absolute truth. Think of absolute truth as a line on a graph, and our knowledge is approaching that line. We may not ever touch, but what is important to me at least is what reliable methods do we use to get as close as we can to truth?
Out of all the stuff that you don't know, I mean, let's just, for sake of illustration, let's be very generous to all of us and say we think we have 1% of all the knowledge in the universe. Obviously, that's
Yes.
way exaggerated, but let's just, for sake of
Very true.
illustration, say we think we've got 1%.
No, I disagree with that, Eric. I think humankind, has 100% of the knowledge in the universe. Think of knowledge as a human construct, just like cash, like a $100 bill. Out of all the $100 bills in the universe, how much does humankind here on planet Earth possess? Do we not possess all of it?
And if I ask you the simple question, how do you know that your reasoning is valid? I mean, are there people in this world that do not have valid reasoning, that cannot come to logical conclusions? Are there people like that?
How do I know if my reasoning is valid? First of all, I justify my reasoning by using basic, properly held beliefs, my presuppositions, and from there I build upwards using predictive models. So if I can use my reasoning in such a way that I can make predictions with a high probability of success, I can then say that my reasoning is valid. But there may be times, occasions, where my reasoning is invalid. But we do not live in a bubble, Eric. We live in a society where we can check each other on our reasoning. If my reasoning is consistently invalid, odds are I'd be dead by now. Eric, the fact that you even asked me that question assumes that you believe my reasoning is valid.